NASCAR 21 Ignition in 2023. This is NASCAR's current multi-platform game here from Xbox to PlayStation to PC, and we are checking it out in 2023. It has been, what, a year and 4 months since this game released? 3 months, whatever it is. Came out, what, late October, I guess, 2021. And I wanted to check out how it plays, still in 2023 when it's still the current NASCAR game after what has been such a terrible, terrible release. And, we immediately are introduced into the beautiful presentation of this game. That's what this game does best. The presentation has always been fantastic. They've known how to present, that's for sure. But the gameplay, well, the actual made part of the game, how does that work? Well, here's my first attempt. I wanted to go to Daytona. I wanted to check out a bunch of different types of tracks and kind of get a feel again for how it plays and see what it's like here with issues and whatnot in this 2023 edition of NASCAR 21 Ignition. And you can see immediately I was reminded in Daytona that the AI are completely stupid and they go into the single file train. And for record, I am playing on the hardest difficulty on every circuit that you see in this video, so do keep that in mind. Now, as you can see though, I'm also on a controller. I did have stability on, I think it was low, and traction control, I think it was on low, because it's so hard to play this game. So you can see myself having a bit of an interesting experience because they all go single file, and if you pull out a line, you go backwards. You can't really go anywhere. Now, when they do this though, it's pretty good. So they have a huge stack up that allows me to move forward, and well, I got tired of it here. It was unacceptable at Daytona. I don't know how the heck it's 2023 and this is still the product at Daytona. So I went to another play track. I said, well, let's check it out. Let's go to Talladega and see how that plays. And the pack racing is significantly better than Daytona. It's simply, it's not good, but it's not bad, that's for sure. It's not broken like Daytona. But on the hardest difficulty, I was shocked. I actually don't remember having it this easy before, but I was able to blow by everybody, even without the slipstream. Look at this. I jump up to the outside of Briscoe, go to the outside of William Byron and Harvick, and you can see they're running into each other. They just start dooring each other in the corner and try to hook me as well. I mean, I don't understand that, but we are able to just kind of navigate our way through this pack here and without any issues whatsoever. So you can see myself splitting through McLeod and Cody Ware, absolutely dumping Kurt Busch, and then I would get back into this little pack right here and without slipstream go to the outside past Almirola, past Todd Gilliland, get to the outside of Ty Dillon. We do pick up a draft now from the 12 of Ryan Blaney, but still nonetheless the 42 decides to come up the track and try to hook me again. I was a little bit baffled by why that's happening. The AI decided they're just going to move up a lane when you're there and try to take you out. Not nearly happened again right there, but nonetheless, even still without the slipstream, I'm able to go around the outside here of Ryan Blaney, get to the outside of the 21 of Harrison Burton. I'm going to be able to pass him as well as the 12 nearly turns us. So it's interesting. It's not good, and I decided, okay, it's time to move on to the next kind of track, and that was Dover. Now, driving this track wasn't that bad. The AI are actually really, really difficult here in Dover, and they have their moments, and you're going to see what I'm talking about, but so frustrating, playing this game, and it halted the progress of everybody in the NASCAR gaming community, from content creators to the actual players as well. We all got screwed by this game. I mean, let's be real here. So it's so frustrating, and you can see, like, I've always wanted to do a career mode with the current NASCAR game, but it's impossible because the game's so bad. So you can see, though, I myself kind of sucking here. The AI are really difficult in Dover, which I like. When the AI are really difficult. However, the balancing issue is interesting here with the AI in this game. So you put it on the hardest difficulty. Some tracks it's too easy still. Some tracks it's way too hard. And there's no good balance. And then you can see here in Dover, I'm getting absolutely run over by the AI. Like, they decided on the exit of turn 4 specifically, they would do that. They would basically just move up a lane again when you're already there. And this was my final straw of this race, when Michael McDowell just does it to me and absolutely KOs me into the wall and kills my right front. So I was like, alright, I'm going to take whoever I can with me. Unfortunately, it was the 23 of Bubba Wallace who collects Ryan Blaney, Almirola, and whatnot as well. And then it was time for the Charlotte Roval. Yep. It's 2023. It's been almost a year and a half. And that is still what we have. I don't know what to say about that one. Hold on, it's not over. They're crashing again into turn 1. Oh my goodness. Now, I had a mod before, way back, that actually made this track even crazier than this. with the AI. No mods are in this video, by the way, because I completely did a fresh reinstall of the game. So you can see that it's still full-blown chaos anyways, and road courses were always fun to drive actually in this game. They were kind of the pinnacle of NASCAR 21 Ignition, but you can see there's still the issues with the AI. Bubba Wallace going for an adventure, and so is Christopher Bell, and you can see now as we are up into P10 after all of that, just by simply, you know, not crashing, and you can get yourself some free positions. So, we get to the back of Eric Almirola, dive down to the inside, get clear of him in that number 10, but it wasn't over between myself and the number 10 of Eric Almirola, so I was a little bit confused here with the braking markers. They're so different than any other NASCAR game, so I was like, where do I brake? Well, Eric Almirola told me not there, so they're already crashing again into the bus stop. The 20 comes, pile drives me, and my frame started dying for whatever reason, and then it got back going, probably because there's so many cars crashing right there. And then watch this, through the final chicane, they're crashing again. What is going on? They stop. All of a sudden, I'm in the third place. And it wasn't over. It was not over. Final lap here of 2 laps in the Charlotte road course. And as we came through the final Oval 4 down into the final chicane, they're going to do what they did again just before and crash. The leader, William Byron, crashes himself. Harvick piles in, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm about to win this race. But unfortunately, Byron gets going like a second or two too early for me, so we ended up P2. But what an embarrassment of a product that race was right there, and it wasn't over. I wanted to check out still the 1.5 miles. We're going to do another road course still, but here we are in now Kansas, and this is a track where you can rip the tops, so I wanted to try that, get up on the outside and see what I could do again. And you can actually see, making a nice pass around the outside of the 27 of Laura Sezivins now as we head down into turn 3. And Kansas is a somewhat difficult track here on the hardest AI, but you can see myself going right up to that outside wall. That was actually beautiful right there. I do love ripping the wall in any NASCAR game. No matter how bad the game is, I can still have fun ripping the wall. So I found myself doing that a lot. But as well, you're going to notice once again the common trend, as anytime you have a glimmer of hope or a moment of fun, it's taken away from you. In NASCAR 21 Ignition, that's kind of the summary of this game. If you start having fun, it's going to take that away any moment, and you're going to see that here now. But I was actually having a decent time racing the AI here in Kansas up until the final lap, and Kyle Busch crashed, and this happened. Yeah, so we moved on and finished in the top 20 after that, so easy pass right there. But you can see the replay. He actually cut the nose off of Keselowski, who didn't cut him a break. Those two great friends in real life, of course, right? So you can see, though, I was just full beans plowed through on the outside. And then we went to Martinsville. So, checking out Martinsville Speedway for the first time in a long time. I have had a record at this track of the pace car coming out on the track and wrecking the field. It was one of my career mode videos here. It was actually, as terrible as it was hilarious. So, highly recommend checking out that video at some point now. But the pace car came out at Martinsville. It even came on the championship finale at Phoenix and sabotaged the championship race. The championship race of my career mode season, the only one we did, literally got decided by the pace car coming out on the track twice and crashing the field. Like, how does that happen? I don't ever really know. But nonetheless, actually, fun time driving this track here, but the AI are so not good here. As you can see, they don't run an accurate line. Look at them. They just, I don't know how to explain it. They run up 2-3 lanes wide, and then they do this wiggle on the exit of the corner, and it was like, what in the world are we doing here, gentlemen? But you can see myself door checking the 14 of Chase Briscoe. But it would, once again, get stupid. And you can see right here, well, yeah, we're doing it again. There's a big pile up. They don't know really how to navigate around crashed cars. So I was actually about to win the race because I move up to P4, but the leaders would stop behind that main pack. I said, screw it at this point. I'm just Ross Chastaining this thing. And you can see myself going around the outside. I'm going to pass everybody. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to go win the race here at Martinsville as Daniel Suarez put it in the wall again to another Chastain. But it would be a free win for myself there. So we got the grandfather clock for Daniel Suarez here today. Let's hope that happens in real life in 2023. Once again, like I said, look at this. The presentation of the game, fantastic. It always looks good. Anytime you're not actually driving, it looks pretty good. So we now jump through into one of the worst tracks when the game originally came out, and that was Bristol. I had some frame drops again in Bristol as well. I wanted to show the frame drops that I had as well, just for the performance aspect, but it only happened, I think, twice. There was the Roval and then right here as well. But you can see this is a difficult track to race on, actually. Bristol was probably the toughest one I recorded here in this episode of navigating around and being competitive, I should say, with the speed against the AI. It was only 10 laps here around this track, but I will say, aside from like the opening lap, racing with the AI here at Bristol wasn't that bad. It was actually decent at best. That's the absolute peak of NASCAR 21 Ignition. AI is decent. It will never get any better than that, and it's only at like 1 or 2, 3 tracks if you're lucky that you're gonna hit that decent marker. But you can see, yeah, like I said, I wasn't having a bad time. I got side by side with Larson. They actually gave me room here in Bristol. I was like, what in the world are you guys doing? So I was very happy with that. We actually had some side by side racing. So for the first time in this recording, I wasn't, you know, hating the game. So we would finish it off with a couple more races here. Actually, I switched to Bubba Wallace at Las Vegas, and I'm gonna use him at Watkins Glen as well. Those are the final 2 tracks I'm going to showcase. So another mile and a half, see what that one's like. It was pretty rough again here. AI is pretty difficult at Las Vegas. This was like the best looking track in the game, and when you go here at nighttime, it looks absolutely beautiful here. But once again, the AI, I don't know, they just, even though like in Bristol I didn't have a terrible time racing with them, the trend kind of continues of they just feel lifeless. There's no life to them like we had in, say, NASCAR Heat 5. They feel so robotic, you know. There's just no personality whatsoever, and you can just see, I don't know, to me, when you watch this video, you can see how soulless they look here. But you can see final lap out of turn 4 wasn't much to show, because fortunately they weren't terrible here. Like, they ran the exact same lines, they didn't do much, but they weren't awful, you know, like they weren't out here wrecking me and putting me in the wall. So final race here at Las Vegas, sorry, Watkins Glen, after Las Vegas, sending it into turn 1, the common issue of NASCAR AI turn 1. You can send it up the inside at a road course and gain a bunch of positions. Really any racing game with a road course, honestly. But you can see right here beyond the 6 of Keselowski, I was curious, you know. To me, Watkins Glen, the best road course in NASCAR, in my opinion. I was curious to see how the AI would tackle this one. It's been forever since I've come here, but all over the back of the 4 of Kevin Harvick here as we head down towards that bus stop chicane. I'm gonna send it up the inside of Kyle Busch even, and get up the inside of Stenhouse, nearly Chase Elliott. I'm gonna abuse the track limits a little bit, as they, remember, actually did lighten up the track limits rules. But up ahead, AJ Allmendinger goes way off circuit in the carousel. They stomp on the brakes. Here we go. We knew something was gonna happen at some point. That was dank. But overall, for the road courses, this one wasn't too bad aside from that moment. And as you can see, I'm actually trying to run Chase Elliott into the barrier there. I was trying to test the limits of if he would come back on track before he hit that guardrail or not. Fortunately, he did. But here we are, going to the right side of Cole Custer, making it past for 19th place. And then final lap, I door checked the 16 because I didn't feel like waiting around. And we go and try to pass as many cars as we can here in the final moments through the bus stop chicane one final time, closing in on the back of Ty Dillon here. Can I get past him into the carousel? Very abusive on the track limits that time, but hey, it works out in my favor and they don't penalize me for it. So we move over to B17, and I can see Kyle Larson ahead, so there was only one thing left to do at this point in the 23 car before we end this video. But yeah, that sums up the NASCAR 21 Ignition experience of various different types of tracks and issues and whatnot here in 2023. What do you guys think of the state of this game in 2023? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This is the current game we have of NASCAR in 2023. What does the future look like? We talked about it. Who knows? We can only hope for the best, but it is not in a good place. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.